Today I'm in Lastingham in North Yorkshire, in the church of St Mary's in Lastingham. This church is built on the remains of a monastery that was built here in around the year 655. Bede talks about this in his Ecclesiastical history of the English people, and I'd like to read that section of the Ecclesiastical history. Was this is ilkan God is monis jewuna, that he an est Saxon bishop Thenunga brukandi was, that he yalomleche his leoden Northanumbran maida softa, and neosade for intingan God kunri Lyre. Da himni, da athelwelge se oswaldis sunnu, das kuninges, se hafta dera riche, and on yet haline wer, and snottre, and je korrene, and on his theawum da bad he himni, that he sumida londes at him on feng, that he mechte munster je timbran, and God is trouwdes to sommingnan. In dam se kuning je lomliche, his je bedo mechte je sekan, and God kunde lar je huren, and ekthone he forthverde, that he da bebrugde beyond sjolde. On quath that he je trouwliche je lufde, that he mechte swede je fultemet beon in hyre, da quam lichum je beodum, da de in daar is stod richtne fraudum. After he, så ilken kuning, that bishop is brother mit hinne, se was Kalin hatten, se was mass preost, and effen God is mon till. Se him and his huum, God kun relalarde, and da je runo thenade, das halgan gerefen. Through das kuthos withos jelum, that se kuning doni bishop lofede and kuthare. Da je fullt modis a bishop, das kuningas willen, and him story je ches munster to je timbrigenne, and hue and morum uppe. In them was Maja sen, skedende, diegel nisse, and wild deer of fair nisse don in mon, eg gunstau. Thereafter I sees wit domme, in them cleophum, that dragon eerdom ware, uprunde de graudis, reudis, and rixa. That is to ongetione, that acende waren wastmas god redada, that other wildior eroded on, other man wounded on, wildior liche lifian. That jolade sona se drichtni where, that on Fongnon stoe was munstres ares mid jebedum, and mid fastnum from unsurfenessum, here Klansningen där är de manna, and bis mitte nessa, on svarin där stoe, där Stathalus city, das munstres. Badda doni kuning, that him spede, and lufede skjelde, that he där wunigan måste for intingan his jebede, ärlig tid, das för tid klan fastness estrum, he that to ward was. On elem dam dachum putum sunnan dachum, he afast to afnes, swaswa his theawas. Nedon in nemne, med mikle dal hlafis, and ein henne ag. Mid little meal watre, je menglet he on feng. And there quath he that ware pure je wunna, from them he that je mette je lonadi rigoliches theochippes, that he that on finger njoan stoi munster to je timbrene of the churchen, that he shoulde ares mid je bedem and mid fastnum drichte je harigen. With though that 10 dages thus feel take lechan fastness to lafi waren, quam arend bracca, se the hinny to kuninge feren het, and he that bed kuning bill is massy prest, se was eg switche his iron brother, that he that are fasten on you nissa his je fuled, and je indade, that he nemoste, though last that arrest were forlaten, ware for intingen där I kun likrans kira. And he him där lustliche je för det, and je fulledre, jorn full nisse där fastina, and je beoda, je timbrede där minstre. That is no, je tjetjed lastinga ea, and he hit mid fastum theodem je sette, and je staffelode, after them theodem in lindes farena ea. That he affeded was.